My father didn't pause. One cold, sharp text wiped away 32 years of shared history. I disown you. Speak to my lawyer. I remember the light above my Denver kitchen flickering, as though even the room sensed the blow. My phone buzzed once, then went quiet in my hand. No warning, no discussion, just exile packed into a sentence. I typed back one word, calm and collected. Okay. No tears, no pleading. I placed the phone on the counter, opened my laptop, and made a quiet decision, a choice that would unravel every lie they'd spun. I've always believed kitchens carry the truth of a home. The one I grew up in, back in Glendale, always smelled of burnt coffee and tension. My father, Harold, liked everything under control: dim lights, hushed voices, muted emotions. My stepmother, Marilyn, insisted on surface perfection while a subtle unease simmered beneath. And Evan, my older brother, roamed that house as though he owned every inch. I learned early to take up as little space as possible. People claim birth order shapes identity. Perhaps, but in my family, it was less about order, more about roles. Evan was the golden child, proof that Harold had succeeded. I was the scapegoat, the buffer, the one keeping chaos at bay. If Evan faltered, I fixed it. If a bill was unpaid, I covered it. If Harold raised his voice, somehow it was my fault. College felt like an escape. I thought distance might heal things. It didn't. If anything, I became more useful. I was the daughter who sent money home, the responsible one. The one whose life remained together enough to patch their cracks. 4 years ago, Harold called crying. I had never seen him cry before. The house was on the brink of foreclosure. Evan had failed him, though he never clarified how. Marilyn was worried sick. I was told I was his last hope, the only child he could rely on. Those words held me hostage. I agreed to help, just until he recovered, he said. I began paying the mortgage, then utilities, then emergencies that only seemed to appear when I got paid. Every dollar I sent was rationalized as peacekeeping. Ironically, as an auditor, I could reconcile anyone's finances, but my own family's remained unbalanced. Still, I tried. Holiday dinners felt staged, forced smiles, leading questions, praise directed at Evan. Marilyn would brag about his promotions or new car, then turn to me with a patronizing smile. Bonnie just likes to work quietly, nothing flashy. Competence is almost a flaw. But the week before the text, something shifted. The air around my father sharpened, secretive. Evan avoided eye contact. Marilyn twitched at every notification. Cracks were forming. Then, on a seemingly ordinary evening, a message arrived from Uncle Robert. No context, just a video I wasn't meant to see. What unfolded in that footage didn't just explain my father's text, it ignited the whole story. The thumbnail showed my family around the Glendale dining table, the same worn oak, chipped corner where Evan carved initials at 12. My chest tightened even before I pressed play. The camera wobbled, held casually by Robert. Overhead, Marilyn's chandelier blazed white, highlighting everyone's faces. They looked relaxed, happy, utterly unaware. I hit play. Harold spoke first, low and satisfied. She's not a daughter. She's a walking ATM. Laughter erupted, real, unrestrained laughter. I froze. Marilyn leaned forward, smiling while shaking her head. Harold, stop. That girl works too hard. Let her feel useful. Evan added, bored, honestly, Dad, she's pathetic. You should hear how she explains why she sends money. Embarrassing. The laughter continued. Robert snorted behind the camera. My stomach twisted, but I watched, drawn into a truth I had avoided for years. Harold raised his beer to my personal ATM, long may she pay. Glasses clinked, whistles, cheers. My hand went numb before I realized it. It wasn't just the words, it was the comfort. The certainty that I'd never hear this while they assumed I'd stay. I hit pause. The room around me felt colder. For the first time, I felt awake, not sad. I replayed it, observing every careless smile, every unconcerned gesture. This wasn't a lapse. It was a pattern. A system older than I had realized. I stepped out onto my balcony. Denver's fall air bit against my skin. City lights flickering like warnings. I let the truth settle. Harold's tone. Marilyn's guilt-laced comment. Evan's endless emergencies. None of it was struggle or gratitude. They were entitlement. I went back inside, picked up my phone, and watched the video again, needing clarity and anger. Midway, a text arrived from Harold. I disown you. Talk to my lawyer. My chest tightened, not in pain but recognition. This wasn't punishment. They thought I was about to confront them, thought they were stopping me before I could disrupt their control. I stared at the text, then typed one word, okay. Full stop. Door closed. A promise. Alone. In my apartment, I understood finally I wasn't family. I was a resource. The silence that followed was profound. No shouting, no collapse, just clean, echoing quiet. At home, silence had been a weapon. Here, it was freedom. I opened my laptop. Harold wanted legal distance. I would give it, along with clarity. First, I accessed the banking portal. Step 1, mortgage support. 4 years of 48 monthly payments, each on time. I canceled the automatic transfers. Step 2, utilities. Years of electricity, water, internet all gone. Step 3, additional payments. Emergency funds. Evan's constant needs stopped. Step 4, documentation. Blank spreadsheet, line by line. 4 years of support, clean and factual. My phone buzzed. Evan, you better not be dramatic. Marilyn, mortgage is due tomorrow. Deleted. They assumed chaos would scare me. But I was done. Morning brought light and clarity. Coffee, hair tied back, laptop open. Mortgage payment failed, red banner blinking. Relief, not panic. Ripple effects followed. Cards declined. Accounts inactive. Notifications snapped like strings breaking. Evan called. I let it ring. Voicemail deleted. Balcony. Denver lights. Wind on my face. I felt ownership, not pride agency. I wasn't sabotaging them. I was leaving a system built on exploitation. Harold thought disowning would weaken me. He forgot. I held it together. Now I held nothing. 48 hours later, Marilyn called, panicked. I finished coffee before answering. Bonnie, the bank says the mortgage bounced. Fix it. I responded evenly. Harold asked everything go through his lawyer. That's what I'm doing. Silence, sharp inhale. Bonnie, you're unreasonable. I ended the call. Texts and calls from Evan and Marilyn flooded in, guilt and threats mixed. I ignored them. By afternoon, my lawyer contacted me. Harold's legal representative claimed harassment. Empty pressure, she said. I smiled. Perfect. I explained everything. Payments, the video, my family's exploitation, Harold's mismanagement of community funds. For a week, I investigated. Dates, transactions, filings, notes cross-checked, cracks appeared. Harold wasn't careless. He was siphoning funds. One night, a cousin called. Bonnie, you need to know what Harold did to me. The pattern emerged. Manipulation, control, danger. Dana, my mother's best friend, confirmed. Harold drained her piece by piece. This wasn't a dysfunctional family, it was control. I wasn't the next victim. I was breaking the pattern. Thursday evening, Harold appeared at my door. Panic lined his face. Bonnie, fix this. You're my daughter. Silence filled the hallway. I handed him a sheet. Flagged transactions. Potential misconduct. Breath hitched. You did this. No, I said softly. You did. His face crumpled. I closed the door. The latch clicked, final and quiet. Harold's world collapsed, not because I destroyed it, but because I stopped supporting it. Within a week, the community fund launched a review. Statements, investigations, accusations. Harold's reputation cracked. Glendale, a home under foreclosure. Denver life shifted. My boss promoted me, recognizing my composure under pressure. Balcony evenings. City lights peace wasn't purchased. Family isn't blood, it's treatment. Walking away wasn't selfish. It was survival. Boundaries weren't cruelty, they were freedom. If you've carried too much, you're right to finally set it down. Share your story in the comments and subscribe for more.